Please click on the subscribe button so you get notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it. All right, so let's rank the matches for WWE Summerslam 2025 from worst to first. Now, if you haven't already, I dropped 2 videos where I ranked the matches basically right after the event. However, in this clip where I rank all of the matches together, I have reordered a couple because after sleeping on it, after really thinking about the matches that I saw, I just had to I had to reorder them. Not all of them, but just some of them. So let's start off with the worst match of SummerSlam, which was by far the Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross match, which in my honest opinion was underwhelming. The physicality that was promoted for that match in the promo between Sami and Karrion, it never delivered. It felt underwhelming. Sami obviously got the win, went over again, but he didn't go into the dark side like Karrion wanted, and ultimately Karrion lost, right? And the crowd's behind Karrion, which it kind of sucks for him, because now I think Kross is just going to become an obscure talent in the background, who, by the fans' perspective, after the match, it seemed like he was on his way out of WWE, and I don't blame him. They booked him really well during, I think, the pandemic and when he was in NXT, but ever since making the jump to the main roster, he just hasn't had the spark that he's needed, even though he has, I guess, the alluring presence in the background. I just don't think WWE really believes in him. The match was okay. The match itself was okay, but the stipulation that was supposed to be for the match just underdelivered. It underdelivered and it was underwhelming. Now I think Sami's going to be on his way to go and try to win the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. I think that's what the plan is, hopefully, because I honestly would love to see Sami win a world title at some point in his career. But yeah, that's why I have Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross ranked the worst match of SummerSlam. Now, the match that I have ranked 11th out of the 12-match card is Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu, because it was just, in my honest opinion, a standard technical regular steel cage match. There was nothing really that stood out to me about the steel cage match. The only thing that I guess was epic was Jacob Fatu's moonsault onto JC Mateo and Tala Tonga in the ring. Or no, Tonga Loa, my bad, not Tala Tonga. Tala Tonga's the big one, Hikelo. Their names get me fucking confused. But Tonga Loa inside the ring where Jacob hits that moonsault. Obviously we knew Solo, or at least I knew Solo was going to go over because his MFTs weren't going to let him lose. But it was just a standard match. It was physical. Both men looked good. Both men hit their spots. The only downside for me of that match, or the biggest downside of that match, was it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it would be. I thought I'd get a little bit more Jacob Fatu boogeyman like wiggles, and then I thought I'd get a little bit more of the Solo Sikoa mockery, the yada da da mean. Yes, Solo is an incredible heel. He knows how to play that character very well. He's very entertaining. But I do still see him as the Bloodlines enforcer at times. He has the physique of it. He's a big man. So for him to not be physical against Jacob, or get to that level of physicality that I think Solo could get to with Jacob Fatu, and still have that level of mockery that we all love, where he would hit his Jacob Fatu's like the boogeyman like wiggle, right, or the yada yada mean in like a very aggressive tone. Like, I was looking for that in the match and I kind of didn't get it, which is part of the reason why I have it ranked as the 11th match of the night. Then the 10th match of the night would have to go to...
Guys, have you heard? Nelson, tell the people.
Shady Mob Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons.
Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, where she retained her title. Uh, the zip tie was basically the nail in the coffin for me in that match. That basically we saw when Lyra got her hands free from the zip tie, then she tried to innovate by putting her hands back into the zip tie, but we could clearly see it wasn't the way that like her hands were originally tied up. Now, when she went underneath the ring to get the zip tie adjusted, they tightened it too hard, and I don't think they cut like a portion of it so she could break it on the fire extinguisher. So she had to go back underneath the ring and then have somebody cut it for her, and that basically took away from that entire spot. Yes, we got to see Becky Lynch be very physical. I think the only reason why I have this match ranked higher than the Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu match was because of the amount of time that they were given for this match. Other than that, Bayley comes in for the save when it looks like Becky was gonna come and just destroy Lyra Valkyria with the crowbar, and then ultimately Bayley cost Lyra the title. And since it was a no disqualification match, Becky going over fit in that scenario. And now Lyra is probably going to either go turn heel or go into a feud with Bayley. I'm curious to see how this feud turns out with them. But I just felt like the match was lacking. I really think this match would have been better if it was just a normal singles match between Becky and Lyra. The added stipulation, I also felt like for this match, it underdelivered. Both women, Becky Lynch is a great wrestler. Same with Lyra. She really does know how to perform. And when it was just a technical bout before they got all the like street fight aspects of the thing of the battle or of the match like involved, it looked decent. But once they started adding props and gimmicks and all these other things, it took away from the match. And that's why I do have it ranked as low as I have this match ranked. I have it ranked 10th. The ninth best match of the night has to go to Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, where we got to see Logan and Drew both go over. Jelly Roll, very entertaining. I genuinely thought Jelly Roll died when Logan Paul dove off the top of the turnbuckle onto him, onto the announce table. And boy, Jelly Roll, all intents and purposes, that match was entertaining. It lived up to the level of physicality that I thought it was going to get to. I didn't think Jelly Roll was going to be this entertaining or this good, but he was fluid. The pacing for this match felt like it was on point. And honestly, the right tag team went over. The right tag team went over. Randy looks like $1,000,000. He looks fucking fit. I really hope WWE. I know Randy's past his prime. He shouldn't necessarily be in that main event scene anymore. But at some point, I would love to see him get a strap or him get like a championship run or something. He doesn't necessarily need it, but it'd be cool to kind of just see Randy with like a strap, representing the company in a one way, shape, or form. I know he's a vet. I know he's probably one of the locker room leaders. But anything you ask Randy to do, he always outperforms it, whether it be a baby face, whether it be a heel. I want to see Randy face off against Cody for the title and beat Cody for the title. That'd be fucking great. And then them having like a feud where they flip the strap back and forth a couple of times. That's just something that I'm kind of asking for. But no, Jelly Roll looked physical. When he got his opportunity to show his offense against Logan, he showed it. And that's why I have Randy and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul ranked as the ninth best match of the night. Now, a match that I was very genuinely surprised of, which is eighth, is Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill looked amazing. She hit all of her spots, and I could tell Tiffy was gonna end up winning just because of the entrance and her facial expression when she was in the ring when Tiffy was coming out. Tiffy, you could see she was on. She felt the vibe, and Jade you could see in her eyes she was a bit disappointed that she wasn't gonna get the nod. But realistically, I think the reason why they didn't give Jade Cargill the nod was because of the match that she had at King of the Ring against Asuka, where clearly in that match Asuka was carrying, in my honest opinion, Jade, and Jade botched a number of spots where in hindsight, I think that's where WWE kind of took a step back rather than looking at Jade like a Rhea Ripley. They looked at her like, okay, she still needs to develop her in-ring ability. She's not there. And the way this match was booked between Tiffy and Jade, they both looked amazing. Jade hit all of her spots. She looked fluid. The only thing that I'd call out would be when she hit her finisher. You could clearly see that Jade was the one that put Tiffy's foot on the rope. Other than that, it was a very fluid match. It was honestly a classic match where both women worked incredibly well together. I hope that they would have kept the title on Tiffany Stratton, because Tiffany has been a phenomenal champion, doing a great job representing the company, and has been incredible in the ring and on the mic. And it is Tiffy time when she comes into the building. With no offense to Naomi, who we'll get to her match here in a bit, who is honestly doing a phenomenal job. Tiffany right now, I think, is the face of the women's is the number one face of the women's division in terms of champions right now. Then secondary, I would put it on Naomi. But it's not leaps and bounds. It's a close competition between the two. Tiffany right now being the longest reigning or the longest reigning WWE champion is no small feat. And honestly, guys, buy all the stock into Tiffany, because she's going to be a future great one. The seventh best match of the night for me was Gunther versus CM Punk. I'm not gonna lie, the match itself was a great technical bout between two wrestlers who are Hall of Famers, in my opinion, who are technical, sound, rough, brutal. Like, they're physical guys in that ring. That match was great. There were times where I caught myself being put to sleep because the pacing was slow and it was so technical. It wasn't very entertaining, but that just because it wasn't very entertaining to my style and my liking does not mean it was worse than the other matches that I kind of have listed here. By that point, I had seen basically the entire card. It was the last match, so I was a bit tired, and that's why I still have it ranked 7th, because even though I like a more physical, more high-paced, more offense, more big spots, those two executed everything that needed to be executed to the highest of levels. From beginning to end, Gunther and CM Punk gave us a performance that by all intents and purposes, going to go down as a SummerSlam classic. Punk getting the win clean over Gunther after busting him open. I think you could clearly see Gunther fell. He went under the table. He bladed to get all that blood and basically used that as an excuse to why he beat CM Punk, or to why he lost to CM Punk. Punk getting the first world heavyweight title win in, I think, 14, 15, no, 2009, 2000, in 16 years, made me feel like it was 2009 again. Gave me flashbacks where he beat Jeff. I'm not gonna lie. Jeff is my all-time favorite, by the way. But no, you just knew something was gonna happen, and I was calling it out. If you haven't, go check out the live stream that I did on night one. That Seth was going to come back, and if he was injured, I thought Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were going to attack CM Punk, leave him pummeled, and then a hobbled Seth Rollins was going to come out and cash in the briefcase and take the title off CM Punk. So when when CM Punk was celebrating at the end and we weren't getting the final sequence with the logo and everything where it says executively produced by Paul Triple H Levesque or whatever, I just knew Seth was going to come back, because as long as Seth lives and breathes, CM Punk will not be a world heavyweight champion in the WWE. Even though he wasn't for long, and Rollins came back, and the biggest ruse of so far this century, because we all thought Seth was injured, he wasn't going to come back, but in my honest opinion, because the injury was so close to his Money in the Bank victory, I thought he still had enough time to basically be gone 6 to 9 months, come back and cash in the briefcase, and be on his phenomenal run. That wasn't the case. Seth was fine. comes in, looks phenomenal. The entire thing was basically a work at Saturday Night Main Event. Comes in, cashes in his money in the bank, and I'm incorporating all these aspects in together. This is why this match and segment is seventh, because that context is what puts it like what made the entire thing way better for me. Seth cashing in, phenomenal ending to SummerSlam night one. That is the seventh best match of the night, in my honest opinion, between Gunther and CM Punk, and then Seth Rollins cashing in. The sixth best match of the night was actually the opener for night one, which was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Every single competitor in that match looked incredible. Braun took his spear through the barricade by Roman, and then Braun gave Roman his receipt in the ring. Basically, Roman pushing Jay out of the way and taking Braun Breaker's spear and selling it like a motherfucker, where it looked like he was broken in two. That was honestly a fun match. It started off slow, gradually ramped up. I felt like the crowd wasn't into it when Jay came out and did his Yeet intro, but by the end of it, everybody was feeling it, and Roman doing the job for Jay so Jay could go over. And it's very I find it very interesting how Jay's actually been a part of the company a lot longer, but Roman has that position. Let's not forget Jay became a part of WWE, if I'm not mistaken, in like 2010, 2011. Roman didn't join until like 2014. So Roman, I think, has been there for what, 11 years. Jay's been there for what, 13, 14 years, and now Jay's getting the push, thanks to Roman, thanks to the efforts that he's done. I still think Jay needs to work on his promo skills. I kind of get tired of his four letters, one word, yeet, like promo constantly and just yelling at the mic, and then the run it back thing. I got tired of it. It's growing on me. I'm becoming a fan of it now, especially because it worked when they were inside. It worked at SummerSlam. It was just like, oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. I'm into it. All right, fuck it. I'm buying it. But yeah, the aspects of that match, the opener, and how it basically set up the entire night. Uh, Main reason why I have it ranked as the sixth best match of the entire SummerSlam card. The fifth best match has to go to Naomi, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley, where Naomi retains her title. Naomi hit everything. She looked amazing. She got an intro with her father, which was iconic. I'll be completely honest with you. I was not a fan of Naomi getting the title back, or I wasn't really a believer of her actually being uh, able to carry this company, or carry the company with the belt on her shoulders. And the match between Io and Rhea, incredible. She looked like $1,000,000 when she was dominating the match earlier on. Then when she went out of the ring and had to come in and actually, it was a triple threat where all three ladies were combating each other. She hit every single thing that she was supposed to hit. The match felt fluid. Didn't yeah, the match felt fluid. Uh, as the heel, she picked her spots correctly. Obviously, it was a match of three different styles clashing. Io Sky's aerial ability, by far incredible and amazing performer, and then Rhea Ripley's physicality, being the one that we all expect to go over, and then the ending sequence where we just see Naomi come in, grab the tights, get the 1, 2, 3, and Rhea's complaining, oh, she grabbed the tights, but it's a triple threat match. It's a no disqualifications type of match. So just the entire storyline and how Naomi looked, I am now a believer of Naomi. I think she is going to do an incredible job as the women's world champion. And yeah, I'm excited to see who she gets next. I ultimately think she drops the belt to Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, and that's where this story is kind of heading towards, because they do have a history between the two, and that's why I'm kind of happy that WWE didn't put the title, take it off Tiffany and put it on Jade. I'm excited to see the match between Jade and Naomi, and Jade ultimately getting her win back against Naomi at WrestleMania, or maybe But that's also on Jade if she's able to consistently perform to the level that she performed at in SummerSlam. Uh, or maybe it's Naomi that goes over if Jade can't, if WWE still feels like Jade is not at that level yet. So I'm excited. Naomi, great performer. Rhea, you guys know she's a top dog. Io Sky, everybody can work with Io. Fifth best match of the night, in my honest opinion. Now, my favorite match of night one and the fourth best match of the night or of the entire card, in my honest opinion, is the Raquel Rodriguez versus Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Uh, the pacing of that match was perfect. They didn't miss any spots. The all four women worked very well together. It was a very fluid match with a lot of action sequences, and that's why I liked it. I was entertained from beginning to end when all four of them were competing against each other, and then the ending sequence where Alexa tries to come in to save Charlotte, but ultimately ends up hitting Charlotte so Roxanne and Raquel can hit their finisher on Charlotte after Roxanne throws Alexa out. And then Alexa comes in, gets the save, drags Charlotte to the corner, tags herself in, fucking puts her offense on, throws Raquel Rodriguez basically out, uh, gets, puts her offense on Roxanne Perez, and then goes for Sister Abigail. And then we see Charlotte in the corner, and it looks like she's going to turn on Alexa, but then she hits Raquel Rodriguez, and then they win the women's title. I would have been okay with either Raquel Rodriguez or and Roxanne Perez retaining, but they ultimately put the titles on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and either one of those two teams would have walked out deserving in my eyes, because that match was, in my honest opinion, the best match of SummerSlam match night one, and all four women put on an incredible performance. I really enjoyed it, and that's why I have it ranked fourth. Now, it's ranked, even though it was the best match of night one, there were three other matches that honestly dominated the entire SummerSlam card. And that third match would have to be Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles, where Dominic retains his title. And guys, it was just an entire love letter to Eddie. AJ comes out in his Eddie Guerrero ring attire. They were in a lowrider with it going up and down, and we even had AJ's son dress up like Dom, even dye his hair fucking blonde and do this shimmy and come out with AJ. I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then we had Dominic. Now, if you guys didn't notice, Dominic had a blue blue ring attire that kind of mimicked Ray's ring attire from like 20 years ago, when I think Eddie and Ray had a match against each other. And guys, it was just a giant love letter to Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Um, Chavo, I hope Chavo was okay with it, because I know Chavo is very sensitive about about WWE doing stuff with Eddie and not necessarily clearing it with them. But I loved it. The spots were incredible. I wanted Dominic to win. Dominic as El Sucio, Dominic Mysterio. He is over like a motherfucker. I don't know if he's gonna get booed anymore. I'm gonna watch Raw here. I'm gonna watch Monday Night Raw, and I'm gonna see if he gets booed when they give him the mic. But I think he's over now. I think he's slowly turning into a baby. He won the SummerSlam match against AJ Styles without the Judgment Day. He won it using his lying, cheating, stealing abilities like he always does. No, but like honestly, like the boot spot, um, just the chair spot. Like if it was the 619 sweep on AJ Styles, it's just Dominic is getting to another level. I understand he's supposed to be a heel. He's supposed to be El Sucio, but El Sucio is getting over as a babyface, kind of like an anti-hero, kind of like Seth Rollins, where I think at Triple Mania they're gonna put the title on Dominic, and he's gonna be a two belt champ. He's gonna be the Intercontinental Champion and the Triple Mania Champion, and that actually makes sense if he's the Intercontinental and the Triple A Champion, because what's it called? Intercontinental Mexico AAA. Get it? Now AJ Styles, I think, needs to go and compete against Trick Williams for the TNA World Heavyweight Title. That is what I want to see. That is what I'm excited for. And yeah, I'm honestly excited for. I'm honestly excited to see where both men go. That match was a classic in my eyes, and people should go back and watch that masterpiece, because that really in my eyes was a masterpiece. Now the second best match of the night was the WWE Tag Team Title six-pack TLC match. Guys, that match slowly started off with some minor physicality, some basic ladder spots, some basic chair spots, and then they got to the table spots. And no offense, Street Profits, y'all's ain't the Dudleys. That shit annoyed me because it was so flat when they said get the tables. Like, nobody fucking popped. If you want somebody to get, if you wanted to do that spot, you go to Bubba and you go to Devon, and they hit you on the chest and they tell you get the tables, and that's how you get that pop. But then they cut to the Dudleys trying to get the tables pop. Nobody fucking, like, God bless you, Bubba. Other than that, the spots, the spots were fucking crazy. I love the table spot where everybody basically went through a table, and then Axiom hitting that. I don't know what the move is called, but basically hitting a move on D'Angelo Hawkins or D'Angelo Dawkins through a table off the top rope. Fucking incredible. Candice LeRae going through a ladder. I thought she was dead, but luckily she hit where she was supposed to hit on the ladder, where it kind of just collapsed, and she was okay ultimately. DIY fucking class. It was just a classic match through and through, very entertaining. But for me, it was the second best match of the night. It paid homage to the TLC match from like 20 years ago between Edge, the Dudleys, and the Hardys. Oh, Edge and Christian, my bad. Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardys. And I've always been a die-hard Hardy supporter. I love the Hardys. I think they should have won more titles, in my honest opinion. That's just how over I am of a Hardy fan. But no, that match was incredible, and it honestly stole the show. It stole the show in a lot of aspects, but it didn't steal the show to the extent that the number one match of the night was this promoted match right here: Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, where it was a street fight. It fit. We got babyface John coming down the ring, running into the ring, performing to the best level that we've seen John Cena perform in the last, I want to say in the last, like, when did he become part-time? Was it 10 years ago? I think in like the last 5 to 10 years, this is like the best John Cena we have seen. It was a classic, brutal, physical match. Cody taking AAs all over the place. John Cena taking fucking crossroads everywhere. Literally, Super Cena met Super Rhodes in a passing of the torch match where, like, it was beautiful how they didn't turn Cody, and because it was a street fight, everything Cody did was within the parameters of the match, where Cody remained a babyface even at the end. That embrace between the two gentlemen was incredible. Cena still has it. I loved it. I was hoping Cena was gonna win, and there were so many false finishes in that match that I was just like, oh my god, who are they actually gonna like put this, like, make end up winning? Ultimately, it was Cody that came out as a champion, and the embrace at the end. It was honestly, it was a fucking classic. It was a classic, both, like, just going all over the arena. Guardrails. No, nothing was safe. Everything was basically utilized. The pacing was good. Yeah, wow. Cody going through like the fucking announce table on the ramp, going, dude. That match was actually wow. Like, now that I even think about it even more now, that match, it was great. it was just I can't reiterate how great it was. And then the return of the Beast Incarnate. Safe to say now why WWE is no longer doing press conferences, because Triple H does not want to answer any questions in regards to Brock Lesnar returning to the company. Because if he does, then it's all fucked up, right? That's just my honest opinion. That's why they're doing the post show the way that they're doing now. But Brock coming back, everybody was fucking surprised. I was fucking genuinely surprised because when I heard his music hit, I was like, it's no way. And then you saw the name Brock Lesnar, and you're like, he is here. He is here. And comes out F5 John Cena, shades of 2015. Or was it 2015? No, 2012. I think it was 2012 when he came back. Shades of 2012. I'm excited to see these guys run it back one more time. Suplex City meets the Fruity Pebbles boy, right? But no, it was ultimately a great ending to night two. Night one and night two. This SummerSlam was honestly, in my opinion, one of the great ones, at least from the last 10 years. Through and through, I really enjoyed it, and that is my ranking for all the matches for WWE SummerSlam 2025 night 1 and night 2. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Guys, join me, Alex the Man Angelov, and check out A&A Radio, where we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest financial news, investments, banking, and personal finance. Check out the channel, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
Guys, you're watching a Shady Mod production. Make sure to follow the Shady Mod podcast, where we break down all the latest content and talk about life. Please make sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when the latest content drops.